Hey, fellow P.O.O.R.S, I'm back on my farmer shit. Check that out. Skin tight like a mofo. This is going to have to be quick because it's still hard to breathe. But January 1st, going on a diet, starting the gym again. Going to be swole. I'll pop the seams right out of this.
Used to kneel for answers, but the floor stayed cold. Whispered to the ceiling, heard nothing but mold. Bibles on the shelf like a stack of old lies. Prayers went dry, prayers went dry. Empty bottles.
I got JC up here. I gave him that shitty ass Carhartt coat that is straight from China and not real. Because he's about the only one it's good for. And I put the Santa mask on him, so he's all ready to roll. Also, check that out. Socks over sweatpants. You know why? Because I fixed the snowblower and snowblowed today because we had drifts that were about 2 feet deep all the way across the driveway when I got home. I hate winter. And speaking of December, let's get into Morbid Monday. Hold on. Gotta do mood lighting. Red. Fucking turn it. There we go. All right. In December of 2011, police in Fort Wayne, Indiana were alerted to a missing child with physical and emotional problems. 9-year-old Alana Lemon. According to Allen County Sheriff Ken Fries, Aliana and her 2 sisters had been left at the home of a family friend, and they had been there for around a week. Aliana's mother, Tara Sowers, had been recovering from the flu and had entrusted a family friend to take care for her 3 children in his mobile home. Well, that's the first problem. You left them with a guy. You don't leave kids with a guy, especially daughters. Jesus Christ. The family friend was 39-year-old Michael P.O.O.R.S. He had met Aliana's grandfather, James Lemon, when they were both serving time in jail for sex crimes. Jesus Christ. Why can't these people learn? Just a couple of months before Aliana went missing, P.O.O.R.S. had posted a photograph of her and her 2 younger sisters on his Facebook profile, referring to them as his 3 little princesses. Fucking disgusting. According to P.O.O.R.S, he had last seen Aliana around 6 a.m. at his mobile home on the 22nd of December. He then left to go to a gas station around a mile away to purchase a cigar. Surveillance footage at the gas station would confirm that P.O.O.R.S had been there. I had deadbolted the door, he said. When I got back, all the girls were here. All the girls was here. Even sounds stupid. P.O.O.R.S smoked his cigar and then went back to sleep until around 10 a.m. He said that when he awoke, he saw a pile of her clothing by a chair where Aliana had fallen asleep the night beforehand, but she was nowhere to be seen. Police would state that they believed that Aliana vanished from the home at some point between these 4 hours. They also stated that the miscommunication between P.O.O.R.S and Tara resulted in Aliana not being reported missing until 8:45 p.m. that night. According to Tara, Aliana had a history of sleepwalking, and she had feared that she had wandered out of the mobile home while asleep. A search party was assembled, and missing persons flyers were printed and distributed throughout the area. They described Aliana as having blonde hair and freckles, standing at around 4 feet 4 inches tall, and weighing around 40 pounds. Police wouldn't issue an Amber Alert, stating that there was no evidence that she had been abducted. After 2 days passed and there was still no sign of Aliana, the FBI were called in to assist in the search. The mobile home park where she had vanished from was known as a haven for registered sex offenders, because that's a good spot to drop your kids off. In a tragic coincidence, Aliana herself had been the victim of a sexual assault when she was 7 years old. Despite this, her mother had left her in the care of a known sex offender. See, we're P.O.O.R.S, but we're not that P.O.O.R.S. We don't make stupid decisions when it comes to our kids. P.O.O.R. and Aliana's family would sit down with the media to speak about the disappearance in a bid to generate interest. Sorry, it's hard to read with this freaking mask on. Ugh. As they discussed the disappearance, P.O.O.R. held up a small drawing Aliana had made on a piece of paper. It was a heart with the words, "I love you, Meek." P.O.O.R. said that Aliana had told them, "That's one way I spell your name." He said that the night before Aliana vanished, she had been having nightmares and said that she wanted to go home. He said that he explained to her, "Honey, you know it's 2:30 in the morning. We'll get with mommy in the morning." Just the following day, it was announced that Aliana had been found dead and P.O.O.R. had been arrested and charged with her murder. It would be uncovered that P.O.O.R. had bludgeoned Aliana to death with a brick and then dismembered her. He had hidden her decapitated head in his freezer along with her hands and feet and then disposed of the rest of her remains nearby. Following P.O.O.R.'s arrest, he made a full confession to the murder, and he spared none of the grisly details. He told investigators that Aliana was standing on the front porch when he came up behind her and smacked her over the head with a brick, and continued to do so until she was dead. He said that after she died, he placed her body into trash bags and stuffed her into the freezer. The following day, he used a hacksaw to dismember her body and would lead investigators to a nearby dumpster where he had hidden most of her remains. Early the following year, hundreds of people turned out for the memorial for Aliana, which was held at the First Assembly of God. During the service, she was fondly remembered by her loved ones. J. Michael Kaywood, the principal at Holland Elementary School, where Aliana was a pupil, said that she was a friend to everyone, happy, smiling. She never held a grudge. At the front of the church, a large photograph of Aliana was flanked by a tie-dyed shirt, which was decorated with written messages to her. In May of 2012, P.O.O.R. pleaded guilty to the murder of Aliana. He said to Supreme Court Judge John Serbeck, I repeatedly struck her in the head with a brick. She died. I cut Aliana Lemon up with a hacksaw and put the parts in a freezer. I then took the rest down to the marathon station and put them in a dumpster. And pleading guilty, P.O.O.R. saved himself a death sentence. He was sentenced instead to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He never revealed the motivation for the grisly murder. Now, why the fuck? Just fry the dude. Come on. Just doesn't make sense. Let's see what sound would go good for the end of that story. Yeah. That works. And with that, we will put the white light back on. The white light is the right light. And we'll read our prayer for the day or for the week. Light up, drunk Mel Gibson Jesus. Our Father, who art in your mom's house, hallowed be thy might. Thy time come, thy Christina will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily sub, and forgive us our lates, as we forgive those who snore on the podcast. Lead us not into cancellation, but deliver us from bad lighting. For thine is the high, and the tight, and the laughter, forever. Amen. All right. Well, guys, yeah, about all I got for today. I hate winter. Um, you should too, especially when it's 50 to 60-mile-an-hour winds. They had to call us back early today. I'd only delivered 2 stores, and my boss sends a mass text out to everybody. If you're finishing up a store, finish it and head back. If you're on your way, turn to a store, turn around and come back. I want you off the roads, which is a good thing he did, because that left me with some weight in the trailer, and the wind was blowing like whiteouts everywhere. So, and it got me back early enough that I could snowblow. So there. All right, I'll check you tomorrow. Peace. Hey, so today is not Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Um, that stuff, it wasn't that great anyhow. And I mean, there was New Year's Eve and all that, but my whole New Year's was fixing my snowblower, the second one, and getting rid of the drifts and everything in our driveway. But anyhow, so I woke up this morning and I was going to start editing so I could get the video released. And I see on my phone that our peace president has just invaded Venezuela. I mean, it was like 5:30 when I woke up, so it just happened like an hour before that. And kidnapped or captured Maduro and his wife, and are bringing them back to the U.S. to stand trial. When did we decide that we could do that? They haven't like physically attacked our country. He didn't go through Congress. This is technically an act of war. They bombed Venezuela. This dude thinks he can just do what the fuck ever he wants and nothing's going to happen. And nothing probably will happen because all the spineless little fucks in Congress, all they care about is not being primaried so they can keep their little cush job and get their insider trading so they can keep making millions while we poors are out here struggling, fixing snowblowers and putting in 50 to 60 hours a week, backbreaking work, working through stuff that we should probably get surgery on, but can't afford to, don't have time to, trucks breaking down. Mine's acting like shit right now. I got to get it in next week. I have to for like a tune-up or something. I don't know what's wrong with it. It like won't shift into gears unless I let off the accelerator, and it's only around 40 miles an hour. And it like pops, the exhaust pops when it's doing that. So I don't know what's wrong with it, whatever. But so what I'm going to do for the rest of this episode is he's supposed to be having a press conference at 11 o'clock from Mar-a-Lago, and I'm keeping an eye on it. And when they go live, we're going to go live with them. Not live to you, but live to me. I'm going to comment while he's doing his little press conference, if I can even make it through the whole thing. Half the time I can only listen to him speak for like 5 minutes, and I get annoyed. But we've got about 15 minutes till this press conference is supposed to start. And yeah, so I can kind of give you a little rundown of what I had on the other videos that I shot. Let me get a drink of coffee first. All right. I'm gonna have to light this up someday. Except I don't know if it's like an illegal cigarette. Well, I guess it wouldn't be illegal now, but I can't. If it's got pod in it, I can't smoke it because I drive truck. But I'll have to look up. It's Macanudo. During the summer, my wife was helping clean like a Airbnb cabin, big like golf. A lot of the golfers come and stay in it, like 20, 25 of them at a time. It's a huge place. So she helps clean it during the summer. And a lot of the times they leave stuff behind. So they left some cigars behind. So she snagged them for me. Even though she's against me smoking and has been since I've known her, which I met her when I was 18. And I'm 44 now. It's a long time. Either way, she snagged these for me, so I've yet to try them. But I've always wanted to smoke a pipe. They smell so good. I mean, you look old as shit doing it, but whatever. So one of the things I was going to talk about was I'm not going to name names because I don't want to get sued. But the whole grieving process for some people, you just got to lay off with some people. Most individuals, when they lose a loved one that close to them, like say their husband or their wife, but let's go with husband for this one. And let's say he gets shot in the neck. That would be tragic. And most people would probably grieve by, staying, if they're famous, staying off of social media, staying out of the public eye for a while. Give it maybe a good year, spend time with your children, help them figure out what's next, not the nanny. But, not everybody grieves that way. Some people put on shimmering gold pantsuits and, go out on stage with big sparklers shooting up and, air hump the sky and say, yeah, elect JD Vance 3 months after their husband is murdered on TV. So, I find it kind of odd. I'm not over here canvassing out, but I mean, I don't trust certain official narratives that have come out about that. There's a little bit more to it. But some people grieve by going on book tours right after, going on every podcast, news station, everything, and showing their loyal support to Israel, even though their husband was turning against Israel right before he got shot. I'm not naming names. I mean, they could probably get me for slander just because I'm exactly explaining what's going on and what happened. But they haven't gotten Candace so far. So I think my little podcast here is not going to do much. I think my last video had 10 views. A couple of them were probably me. So I'm not big enough yet to be anything to worry about. I almost lost my mic. Holy shit. But What else? What else? But yeah, I mean, you shouldn't harp on a grieving widow. She might just not be able to handle it, and that might make her lie about stupid stuff like never dating anybody in the town they lived in before her husband, because she saw how her roommate was with dating, and she doesn't drink, even though there's video proof of her drinking, and her ex-boyfriend is now some dude working at a company that they work at. So, you know, what else? What else? What else? Oh, the snowblower. So I had to order for the other snowblower, the one we got from her dad when he passed. Here's the deal on the snowblowers. We had one when we bought our first house. That was about 21 years ago. The one that got foreclosed on. But we had both our kids in that house, all that. And so we had gotten the snowblower the year we bought that house. And that lasted up until a couple of years ago. So, I mean, that was a good long while. But so last summer, or was it the summer before? I think the summer before, we found a new to us used one that's, I don't know, maybe 10 years old, but it's like the same style. It's an Aaron snowblower. It's the same style as the one I had before, just a little bit upgraded. And so we used that for, I think, 1 year, and then her dad passed, and my wife's dad, and he had a couple snowblowers in his garage, so we grabbed the Craftsman out of there, and we took that one. So we have 3 snowblowers currently sitting in our garage, along with like 3 sets of tires. My set that came with my truck, I have a different set on it. A set of my daughters, set of my sons. It's like I'm looking like a junkyard in my fucking garage. Plus all the stuff that we moved into the house or into the garage from her parents' house when he passed, because her mom is in a different state. And so I've got 3 snowblowers in there. One doesn't work. The Craftsman one, a couple weeks ago, it had I was tooling along. I had like 2 strips left to do in the driveway. It was actually over in the side yard. I was doing the propane tank, and the auger cable snapped. I was like, fuck. All I hear is tink. And then the handle went all loose. I'm like, God dang it. So I open it up. I've never had to fix a snowblower before. I open it up and I see that the spring where it hooks into the plate that engages the auger, that had snapped. So I looked all over town. Nobody in town carries Craftsman stuff for snowblowers. So it'd be nice if Sears was still in business, like with stores, I could just go in and buy it. Anyhow, so I had to go on Amazon and order the part. The part was only like $9, but it was just before Christmas that I ordered it, like a couple days. So it was going to be after Christmas before we got it. So I just didn't snowblow. And luckily the snow kind of held off until like the day before I got the part. But, we both have 4-wheel drive, so I was able to get out for work. Came home. It only took me like 10 minutes to replace the part. And I snowblow the driveway. Worked just fine. But my other one, the Aaron's that we had bought, I tried to use that at the beginning of the year, and it was going fine. And then all of a sudden the augers would just stop moving. I didn't snap a cable or anything like that. They just stopped moving. I could like start them spinning and they'd spin until any kind of resistance and then they'd stop. So I thought, shit, something inside the gearbox is messed up. So I figured something was stripped in there, and so I just put that in the back of the garage, and I figured I'll fix it, this spring, because that's just digging into the gearbox is something I'm not going to do when it's 10 degrees outside. So I'm using the Craftsman one after I fixed it, did the driveway once, put it away. Obviously, we got a foot more snow. So I get it out again, and this is just the other day. And I get the driveway all the way done, except for one strip in like the front part of the house where the sidewalk is. And it just goes loose again. And the auger quits working. I'm like, shit. I thought something might be odd because it was nice and tight when I first put it on. And then when I brought it out this time and I squeezed the handle, there was slack in it. So I thought, well, maybe it just, stretched it a little bit. I'll just have to tighten it up a little bit later on. Well, I never got the chance to. And so I figured, well, maybe the spring just came unhooked, because there was slack. I open it up and the spring snapped in the exact same spot. Nothing rubs on it there. So I don't know what is going on with that. So I was like, shit. So I was going to go on Amazon and order the part again. And 2 of them this time. And I just, got on Google and I typed in with the Aaron's one that the augers, quit spinning when there's any kind of resistance. And Google said, check the shear pins. And I'm like, shear pins? What? I'd heard of shear pins before. I'd never paid attention to what they even are or were. I'm not a mechanic. If something breaks on my semi, I could jerry rig that to get it to go wherever I need it to go to get fixed. But, I've worked on outboards on boats because I worked in a marina for 3 years. I worked a little on inboards, but, I'm still learning stuff even in my 40s. So I look it up and it's just, there's 2 shear pins in the auger and they're supposed to go all the way through, and they either have it's either a bolt, like a shear bolt, basically. I mean, it's got a nut that screws on, or you can get the pins that I got. I could have paid $10 for 2 bolts, which is good for one time, because it takes 2 for each side of the auger, or it takes 1 for each side of the auger, so 2 total. That's what came in the package for the actual Aaron's brand. But they had some, like, not one size fits all, but generic ones that came with 6 to a package for the same price, and they were just pins, flat on one end. You slide it through, put a pin through it, you're good to go. So I grabbed a couple bags of those, and that took me like 30 seconds to pop those new pins in, because the other ones, both shear pins, were sheared off. I mean, I had to take like a little screwdriver to them, pop them out, but yeah, the new ones just slid right in, fired up, and I'd rather use the Aaron's anyhow because it cuts like butter, and it throws the snow so much further. Because I think the internal chute one spins faster than the Craftsman. It's got to be the only reason. But the only thing is, it's been so cold, and the I needed to put air in the tires and I forgot to. So they were a little bit low. Well, it's been sitting in my garage and it's been so cold out that like there's flat spots on both tires. So when I'm going along snow blowing, it's hopping, until it warms up. We're supposed to hit 30s, I think, this upcoming week. So hopefully they'll heat up a little bit. And I've got one of those emergency like car start or car jumper things that you can like set tire pressure on it, use it to air up your tires. So but I just have to charge it. So I'll get that charged and just fill the tires. But I'd rather use the Aaron's anyhow. Plus it's got electric start if you are old and worthless and need electric start, because the pull start's easy as hell. So the press conference was supposed to start, and it's 11:01. Trump's always late, whatever. So once this gets going, I'll switch to the live feed of that, and it's gonna be from the AP YouTube site, Associated Press. I don't know if the video is gonna get flagged. I wouldn't think so, because it's a live press conference with the president and it's news. So if for some reason you don't see the video and you just see me, it's because I had to cut the video portion out and just keep the audio of it. But it'll still have me commenting on it and everything. But New Year's was fine. I mean, now that I don't drink, I'm actually able to stay up until midnight. So last couple of years, I made it to New Year's no problem. Even working the New Year's Day or New Year's Eve day. But I don't know if anybody else noticed, like our phone switched to midnight like 40 seconds before the television, like the ball drop. What they showed, I forget what channel it was on. NBC maybe. But so I don't know why they had a lag. Or it said live though. I don't know if they're expecting bombs to go off or something. I didn't hear if we had any terror attacks. I don't think we did. I know parts of the world did. I heard something somewhere, if that helps you out any. I'm gonna see what's going on with this. Not much going on yet. Let's see what this slimy fucking corrupt cocksucker has to say. And why are we attacking Venezuela when I don't understand this shit? Well, I do. Everybody's corrupt and someone's making money. That's what it is. I'm not going to say Israel has anything to do with it, but who knows? They got their hands in everything. And every country. So, according to them, Iran's got a long-range ballistic missile that can reach the U.S. already, or will be able to in 6 months, which is what they've fucking Netanyahu said for the last 30 years, just to get us into more wars. That's who we should be invading and arresting and charging. He's already wanted by the criminal court, world court. Yeah. And if he says this is all about drugs, that's such a fucking lie. Because most of the drugs that come into our country come through Mexico. So why aren't we invading Mexico if that's the case? And taking their president? And supposedly this guy, Maduro, he's not even like the elected president. But he's like a drug lord or something that moved in and took over. I don't even know what to believe. Can't believe anything Rubio says because he's a twat too. Almost 15 minutes late already. So anyhow, while we're waiting on this, I'm gonna mute that for now. Hope you guys had a good New Year's. Hey, so Riverside sucks ass. I don't know what the hell happened. It just disconnected. My Wi-Fi is working fine. I'm not going to use the second camera for this time because I don't want anything to screw it up. But now I got to go back and find the video that I was on because they probably already started now. Press conference with the president. Oh, what do you know? He's still not there. It's 11:25. This guy's such a douchebag. But anyhow, I'll fix that a little bit. Can't see if the nose is right on or what. So, but anyhow, like I was saying before, fucking Riverside decided to get retarded. I got this thing, because old Hitler over here, dead Hitler. I want him to be mobile, you know. I want him to move and jive and freak out when he's gonna be like my early warning detector if Netanyahu's sent like IDF soldiers to kill me or something. So anytime any Jewiness is around, old mobile Hitler's gonna start shaking and yelling. Well, I didn't want to like pay for some expensive thing to make him go up and down. So I found this on sale at Walmart, and I'm gonna take it apart and just use what's inside for him. Plus, it'll have buttons that I can hit to make him move. And I've got like a little cheap soundboard thing that I'm gonna hook up to another speaker and it'll play. I got all kinds of plans. When they're actually gonna be implemented, I don't know. But I'm gonna hook him up on it, and then he's gonna bounce around. Obviously, I'm gonna. That actually worked. I've never been able to shut it off before. But anyhow, I got plans. I just don't know when they're gonna get implemented. So bear with me. I wish I had like I could do this full time and just work on stuff. I need to get rid of this. I mean, this desk is a mess right now. I mean, this box is a mess right now. I need to come up with something else. I was almost thinking about having like a table set up with a camera at the end and then a chair over here. I'll have JC sit in it or something, and maybe it'll be reserved for Charlie. And have old fucknuts here disrespect him and sit in it. I don't know. I don't know if you've ever seen, like over Thanksgiving, everybody like that wants clicks on the internet was posting how they have a chair reserved at their family table for Charlie Kirk. Give me a fucking break. They took the picture and then just knocked that thing out of the way and sat down. You know it. Unless you're just a psycho. But yeah. So I was thinking about getting a table. Wouldn't be an expensive one. Maybe I'll make it a door. I don't know. And then have chair there, chair here, and then one camera coming this way, and then maybe one on me. I don't know. I'll have to look up different ways to set stuff up, but not much you can do in a little basement room. So, is this guy ever gonna talk? My God. Is he trying to get hard in the back or something? This is fucking a half an hour after he said he'd speak. This is why nobody cares. Oh my God, this is fucking annoying. So anyhow, if you guys got any ideas of what you want to see on the show, send me an email. It's in the channel description. And if you want to be on the show, let me know in an email. And I could send you a link from Riverside. You could be on the video. chatting with me, or I could, if I had your number, I could call you, just put your voice on. I'm just filling time right now until this fuck comes out and starts talking, but oh, is it ever gonna happen? Come on. Oh, and in that Monday video, there were a couple sound effects that I played, and when I listened back to the Monday video, they didn't show up like in the previous episode. So I think I forgot to turn something on in the program that I was using for the soundboard. So if you hear some weird sound effects, it's because I'm putting them in afterwards. So, but that'll just be for the Monday part. Dude, turtles fuck faster than this motherfucker gets out here. Oh, over Christmas, my mom was talking, my 74-year-old mom, 75-year-old, I forget. I think she's 74. No, well, shit. She's born in 49. So she's 75. I can't even count right now. Ding, ding. That's my phone. Anyhow, she's in her mid 70s. And she was talking about, she's lost her filter by this point. And she was talking about somebody. And she said she looked like 40 miles of bad road. And I can't get it out of my head. My wife uses it too now. I found all this stuff from Christmas that even in my 40s I didn't know. Like my grandpa, he owned a farm, like a turkey farm. But then after the turkey farm, he had switched to beef cattle, then milk cattle or dairy cattle. And then finally just made it hay. Basically, he went with whatever he could support his family with is what he would switch the farm to. But it was turkeys for the longest time. And yeah, I guess like he went to a cattle auction one day, and my aunt, my youngest aunt out of all of that family, I guess she had always said that she wanted a pony, and all her brothers and sisters were like, "You're never getting a pony. Shut up." So, so my grandpa goes to a cattle auction and comes home with a pony for my aunt. What the fuck? And she said they never had time, like her brothers and her dad, my grandpa never had time to really help her ride. I mean, every once in a while they'd help her up onto the pony and everything. Yeah. But they were busy on the farm doing other stuff. So she had it for like 2 years and barely was able to ride it. So then they ended up selling it to a family down the road that had like 10 kids. And I guess they rode it all the time and ended up getting another pony to go along with it. So everything ended up good in the long run. But like, I didn't know Grandpa had a pony, or you guys had a pony. He built, this is back in the 50s. He built my aunts and uncles a go-kart, like from scratch, just from random stuff around. So in the 50s, they had a go-kart to go around the farm and just tool around and have fun. So he was like an engineer that never got to engineer professionally, just around the farm. Built his own air conditioning for the house out of scrap parts. So they were one of the only houses like anywhere in that area that had air conditioning. So that was like late 50s. As soon as Freon was a thing is when he built it, I think. Because he also built his own flash freeze for the turkeys. And it's like this big tub unit thing, whatever. He built pretty much everything by himself. He's a smart fella. He is no longer. He lived till, I think he was 89, 90. I don't remember. Dude, did he cancel this press conference or what? I'm getting really annoyed and I'm running out of things to talk about. Let's see what pops up on stuff. Oh, yeah. Victoria Jones Tommy Lee's daughter found dead in hotel on New Year's Day. What was that about? Scientists discover a lemon-shaped planet with something they've never seen before. Transfer portals. Massive blaze in Denver. Major blow for Trump. Approval collapses in new poll. The Charlotte Observer. Driver charged after crash that injured boxer Anthony Joshua and killed 2 friends. Oh yeah, that was some shit, huh? Right after, basically, he got done fighting, what's his name? Jake. Actor Tommy Lee Jones sought conservatorship for daughter years before her death in San Francisco. So she must have had, wonder if she had mental health problems. That sucks. Petitions to deport Nicki Minaj gain over 120,000 signatures and counting. Yeah, that was something fucked up. That they actually had Nicki Minaj on to do an interview or talk thing, whatever. With never mind. The president is on, so we'll share that.
Okay, thank you very much. This is big stuff. We appreciate you being here. Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since
Shut the fuck up.
World War II.
You don't have to brag about everything.
It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
Mm-hmm. So how many of our guys died?
We've done some other
or
good
got
ones,
injured?
like the attack on Soleimani.
You don't need to brag about killing people,
attack
dude.
on al-Baghdadi, and the
Just say what
obliteration
happened.
and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer.
Fuck.
All perfectly executed and
Shut
done.
up, you
No
narcissistic
nation
fuck.
in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights
That's
of
what happens
Caracas
in the
were
dead of night.
largely turned off.
It's dark. You fuck.
Due to a certain expertise that we have.
I'd rather listen to Pete
It was
Hegseth
dark.
right now. And I
It
hate
was
his
deadly.
fucking guts too.
But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York.
Why is she being
Jay
indicted?
Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States
Does she run
and its
something?
citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking
Was it the
speed,
dead of
power,
night, and was it
precision,
dark?
competence.
Fuck.
You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some
You
raids
see it
in
all
this
the
country
time,
that
you
didn't go so
cocksucker.
well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like maybe like
Yeah,
never
let's
before.
talk shit about
These highly trained warriors operating in
let's talk shit about our
collaboration with US
military
law enforcement
until you got in power, huh?
put them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, we're just sort of waiting.
Yeah,
They
they're
knew
not
we
going to
were
be on
coming.
land, you
So
fuck.
they were in a ready, what's called a ready position
All right, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna
But
put
they
you
were
guys through
completely
any more
overwhelmed
of
and
this. I can't even stand to
very
watch
quickly
shit. This is fucking bullshit. All right. Anyhow, that is going to be the episode today. I'm sorry it got all jacked up. We'll see how we do next week. But forgot to say it last week, so I'll emphasize it this week. You don't always shit when you pee, but you always pee when you shit. I'll see you next time. Peace out, homies. Paws up, hose down.